Okay, in this video we're going to have a look at the extraction of aluminium from aluminium ore, and the name for aluminium ore is bauxite. And aluminium ore, aluminium being a reactive metal, it contains aluminium oxide. Now if you think back to how we extract how we extract iron, then we use carbon in order to do that. So if we tried to do the same here, and if we said let's reduce that, remember that means remove the oxygen, so let's reduce aluminium oxide by removing the oxygen using carbon. If I just slide the reactivity series back in, you can see there's a problem because aluminium is just above carbon in the reactivity series, and therefore aluminium is more reactive than carbon, and that means that carbon cannot displace the aluminium oxide to get the aluminium on its own displace. So how does this work? What goes on here? Let's just remind ourselves of that step, that aluminium and carbon is not reactive enough, therefore this process just doesn't work. So going down this route is not possible for us. So how do we do this? What we have to do is go down a different route, which involves electrolysis. Let me just cover this bit over. So we take our aluminium oxide and we're going to undergo electrolysis. Now remember, electrolysis is taking a compound and making it undergo decomposition, breaking it down using a DC direct current electrical supply. And in this case, our compound is aluminium oxide. If I separate this into the ions, so we've got Al, a 3+ ion, and the oxide ion is O2 minus. Then what happens during electrolysis is the aluminium, it's cation, so at the cathode, it will pick up 3 electrons to form aluminium. The oxygen, O2 minus, needs to lose those 2 electrons, so it will lose those 2 electrons to form an oxygen atom. Now we need to be careful here because remember the oxygen is diatomic, therefore I would need 2 of those reactions to make this work, because when these come together and these come together, this one gives you O2, therefore it's diatomic. To make it O2, I need 2 lots of the oxide ions, and it's going to produce 4 lots of the electrons. Okay, so that's the reaction. Let's put that on there. That's the reaction at the cathode. That's the reaction at the anode. Sometimes you'll see that simplified to show you just in simple terms. I'll do it up here. That this just is breaking it down into aluminium and oxygen. Again, it's a good equation to practice your balancing on. So pause the video here if you want to practice balancing this one. I'm going to put the answers in so you can then check that you have got it right. But there is the equation for the breaking down, decomposition of aluminium oxide into aluminium and oxygen that takes place in the process to extract aluminium from aluminium oxide.